Hi, this is a quick demo of the app and how it works. So this is a front screen and you can add and nominally delete, but the delete doesn't work at the moment, but you can add new classes. At the moment I've got 2 added, but if you want to add another one, let's say Addington, you can then select which program we use. It only supports basic 1 at the moment. And say OK, that's fine. Ignore these numbers at the moment, they're kind of for debug. So let's say we use the Halton lesson. It lists all of the available calls. At the moment it's not very easy to see, but there's a bar here just below the list. If you hover over it, you'll see the arrows changing. You can drag that down to show the full list. If it's not all showing, you can also use this drag down here to show the rest of the details. If you've got a big enough screen, you can drag that down. But it shows it all. You can order the list of names and the start and end formations. So by default it lists it in the order of the call, so when you press that you won't see anything. You can order it by start and end formation. That is so you can find suitable calls that match an existing set that you've selected. The first column here allows you to select which calls are going to be part of the generated set. So if you're working on a particular set of calls for your class, you select a new one. So let's say we've got these ones and you want to find a new square, a system that starts with the static squares, and say end in static squares, go to start, and since these are all already selected, you'd ignore that. You can then use these navigation buttons, page navigation, and you need to jump through to where it says start in the middle column. I think I might add an additional search facility that allows you to put in strings, so you can search for the string, but that's something else. As you notice that the layout's not great, something to work on, but one thing you can do to sort that is to find this navigation pane here, which divides these 2 screens, and it's right in the middle there. You drag that across and you'll find they'll display a bit more in a more readable way. I need to add a little bit of fix to that to make it so you can see everything. So if you want to do that, you then select, say you wanted this one, you can say I want to select that one, and it immediately disappears. What it's actually done is gone to the start of the queue along with all the other selected ones. We can select a few other ones as well, just to give you an example. We can also select ones with different end formations. So this one starts in a chain through, so let's select that one. When you do that, you'll notice at the bottom this, if you may have noticed, that this changes. So this bottom section is how you generate all the, or will be able to generate all of the calls, and it basically says where do you want your sequence to start from, and where do you want to end. And these fields are populated with, if I use this double arrow, it'll take me back in tens. It uses the start and end of all the selected boxes, so in this case there's only static squares to start in, but in the end squares you get static squares and an 8 chain through, so that's why there's 2 in here and 1 in there. But in most cases you want to start them both to start and end in the same formation, but there may be a case where you've got a particular thing you want to try and you may want to start in a different place. These fields are how many bars you want the sequence to be. I really should change that to 64 because that's your standard length, but you can make it as long as you want. Maybe you just want very short ones so that you can try out a particular call. These are how many sequences you want generated, so in this case you'd only get 4 new sequences generated, and the button here, just when you press that, it will generate the set of sequences. What else have we got? The other thing we got here is we can decide how much of that is the title for this one, weight. It's the weight of those particular selected systems calls. So you've got a, let's say, a 50, 100. So that will mean that these, let's say, put all these down. It will mean you will get this one predominantly more. Maybe you want to use that one. So those two will be used more often, if possible, within the generated sequences. It's not reordering these, but if you go forward a page and then back again, you'll find that it does it in order of weight, so that you know which of the calls you're working on at any particular time. Yeah, I think that's about it. Oh no, there's one other thing as well there. So the right hand pane here is to display the calls themselves. So if you select on any of these columns, it displays the particular dance you can do, the particular call, and you can use this slider here to play the call through and pause it at any point. If you let it go, it stops where it is. If you hold it down and slide, it moves through the sequence from start to end. There's not the colouring on there at the moment that you mentioned, so I'll have to wait for that one. It's not far away. I think I just need to add a little coloration section. I'll see if I can do that later today. I think that's all for now.